So I heard the girls are entering their villain era. Oh, you wanna be the villain? Dark feminine era, baby, they need to feel it. Yeah, hey, I got what you need, no Eve, I'll be the Lilith. When you see what I see, you'll need to heal your spirit. Ooh, yeah, I'm walking around like I'm Medusa, won't you look me in the eyes? The truth is like a bazooka when you only shooting lies. I really thought I knew you, you've been wearing a disguise. Angels singing hallelujah, cause I finally changed the tide. I did the love and light thing. I ain't saying it's the right thing, but what you give to me, I'ma give back, so I really hope you try me. I don't care if you don't like me, take more than try to buy me. And I taught myself that I can teach you, babe, since you asked me so politely. You take the parts of your shadow self and you bring them bitches to the light. Yeah, the parts of you that you really hate and you look me straight in the eye. Yeah, the parts of you that you scared of, and the parts of you that you run from, and the parts of you that you lock up, that'll make them all run and hide.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Butt Stuff. We have Jazz Shaw here today. Welcome, Jazz. Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I have no idea where this is going, but I know so many people who have come and done the show, and I was like, okay, I got invited. I got to go do it.
I was like, I feel like at this point in
Let's
YouTube, the YouTube community, it's like a rite of passage to come on the show now. I
Right.
feel like everybody
It's
has
like
to
a
go through
hazing.
it now. It's like a hazing, yeah.
But hazing is probably too strong a word.
Yeah,
but
not a hazing, but like it's like you gotta go through it. It's we hang out. So here's the whole gist of it. We watch UFO videos on TikTok. Some of them are paranormal, some of them are ghosty, some of them are just a little bit funny. We make our comments about it, and we let the chaos ensue. And that's pretty much the entire show.
Yep.
You
And
go
I've
first
watched
in each
plenty of
video,
them,
but-
so you
Oh,
know.
see, so
Yes.
you know what you're in for. You know what you're
I don't
here
come
for.
on without knowing it. I've watched like 50 of
Oh,
your shows.
good.
Oh my God,
Okay,
I love that,
cool.
Jazz. No,
Okay.
sometimes people don't, Jazz. Sometimes they don't, and then they're like here and they're like, "What's happening?"
What have I walked into?
It's like, what? Wait, what's going on? So I
Yes.
appreciate that you know what you're getting into this time. So I guess we'll start off like we always do. Everybody, our Pledge of
Get
Allegiance
your
right
dance
now.
on.
Get your
Wait.
dance on. Wait.
I was.
This is not an actual Bigfoot. I've seen a Bigfoot once when I was
Oh,
and Bigfoot plays the flute, does not play the sax.
Oh,
The
very
flute.
interesting.
He's like,
I can see that. Nimble.
trampling around
The
the
one that I
forest.
saw played with my emotions.
Try to find that video, you know.
That was great. Oh man. Bree,
So
what were you
wanted to-
saying before I cut
Oh,
you off?
I wanted to just mention something that Kari said earlier that was kind of it got lost. As usual, when we do these videos, our guest is the first one to make
Yes.
the call on them. So
I'm usually the worst person.
yeah,
that.
Kari always has to
Mhm.
hold back because she's always just like wanting to jump in and be like fake, or this and that. But since you're our guest, you get to make the first call of the day. So after we show a
Oh,
video, you'll get to let us know your thoughts, if you think it's real, if it's fake, why, all of those fun things.
Sure. I analyze all sorts of videos all the time. I could tell you about my last 3 weeks, the deep dive research I've been doing and going into this weird crap going back to the 60s. So
Ooh.
Oh,
you look
please
at
do.
my profile on Twitter, it just says right there, everything here is my opinion. I've got a lot of them.
Lot of
Deal
them.
with it.
Mhm,
You know.
mhm.
So go
That's-
ahead, throw it at us.
Listen, that's
Never
the
afraid to
vibe.
share an opinion.
That's the vibe of this entire show. So you've come to the right place for that.
definitely is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, I got
I'm gonna
questions
play.
for you guys too, by the way.
Oh,
Okay, deal.
We'll
Okay.
get to that.
Should we do
later.
the
It's gonna flip
first?
the script.
No, let's rip.
Well, yeah, we'll save it. We'll save it. We'll
That's
save it
it.
to the bantering at the end.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. I'll play the first video. So
Okay.
I do have a little bit of context for Spooky because she likes to know the details.
Thank you.
Um,
Oh, it's like Christmas. Excellent. Tell
so
me
this
details.
video in the description basically just says that they went outside of their house, they saw this floating around in the sky, and that's all I have
Is
for
it-
you. That's
So that's no information I couldn't have discerned from just watching the
Just
video.
watching the
Correct.
video.
It's a start.
because
It's a start.
just to be like a little bit of a spoiler, it's super zoomed up. So I was just like, like, what is this? Okay,
You had
so
me until the last line.
Sounds
I'm
like all
sorry.
5 of our sightings. You know,
I was
just like I saw this thing. No, my wife and I have seen 5 different UFOs in the last 14 months. You know, it's like it was
Wow,
this
last
thing
14
in the
months?
sky. You know,
That's what I feel like
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot of
I-
people's sightings are, though. They're just like, well, I saw this shit in the sky. What do you want me to tell you
Yeah.
about? It was some shit
I
in
mean,
the sky.
I went 61 years. I never saw a damn thing. The last 14 months, we just suddenly apparently moved into like UFO Central. So
That is
you
so
moved into a
cool.
portal. You moved into a
I
portal.
need to know more about that. I mean,
Oh, we'll
you
get
don't
to
have
that.
to tell me your
UAP
Let's get to the
address.
tracker
video.
people.
Yeah, Brie, get the
But-
first video. Get the first video.
Okay,
We'll talk
all right,
about
all
it
right,
along the way.
all right.
I hold silver. Okay.
Oh, that was it?
Oh, she
That was
That's
it.
no. They just paused it so you could look at it.
Oh, okay.
So
All
you
right.
could tell the difference of when it's like kind of moving and then
And
when
when it
it's
stopped?
when it's not.
That is not actually moving. Is that moving?
Well,
It
it looks
doesn't
like the inside is
Weird.
moving. At least it appears to be.
Well,
Okay.
right. I mean, but my first, since I have to go first, the
100%.
camera seems to be very focused, and I have a really crappy video of a Tic Tac that I can point you to later.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
If you're not using a camera with infinite focus range, it focuses on something. We have a very crisp shot of some branches, and there's something bright that's out a lot further.
Hmm.
And the camera is focusing on those branches because you can see the little nibs and knobs there. So at that point, it could be an orb of some, because there's a lot of orbs, a lot of talk about them, and something like that. It also could be something bright that the camera is not focusing on at all. So I would like a much better shot. So I'm not going to say UFO no, but I am going to say more information required.
Wow. I think it's.
How did you know both of our things?
Because, like I said, I've watched a whole bunch of shows.
Need more info. Need more info. Need more info.
I wouldn't be sitting here and volunteering to do this if I hadn't
Need more
seen
info.
Luis
more
and a
info.
bunch of the people I work with on here and other people.
We
I
love
love
Luis.
your
He's the
show.
sweetest. You're so sweet, Jazz. I love it. All right, so I'm kind of sort of in the same kind of camp as Jazz here. Here's what I feel. This is the vibe I'm getting. It feels like to me that it's 2 sticks and there's a spider web in between it, and they just caught the light just right to look a certain way. Like it's way too zoomed in and way too I don't think that's a tree. I think that's maybe a bush.
Wait, shouldn't you be at the
What?
Olympics for mental gymnastics right now?
Yeah, that's I'm whoop, whoop, whoop. That to me it looks
Right.
like a spider web, and we're looking at something like that. If I was more zoomed out and we had more context, but to me this literally looks like there are some twigs on a bush that they zoomed their camera into and got like a weird thing, and we're like, look, it's a UFO.
I could even see it being, seriously, and I know I already had my turn and I apologize.
No, go for it.
That could be a conventional aircraft of some sort with a landing light. But if the camera's just focused on something up close and there
Yep.
was just a bright white light in the distance that was moving or getting distorted by the
Mhm.
atmosphere, it could be something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
you also can't rule out. I mean, people see a lot of orbs. We all know that.
Tons of them.
You know, there's orbs everywhere. My first sighting in November of 2020 was an orb, but it wasn't white. It was like a whole bunch of colors that kept shifting.
Oh,
And I got 5.5 minutes of film of that one. So, but yeah, that's I just think it's not. I don't trust handheld cameras because
yeah.
my videos are such crap,
Mhm,
and so
mhm.
many people's are. If you're trying to point something at the sky, if it's dark or low light conditions,
Yep,
you know,
100%.
it's hard to say, really.
I think
be an
that's
orb.
kind of like the caveat of all these videos. At the end of the day, it could be 100% real, but I think just us as a society and the way that we speculate about things, it's like everyone always wants proof, but when we give it, everybody's so critical of it. So it's all
yeah.
not proof at the end of the day, you know?
It's either too crappy and it's like nobody could possibly tell, or if
too
you
good.
got one that's really good, they're like, I'm sorry, that's too good. It's got to be fake.
It's gotta be fake. Exactly. Exactly. 100%.
You can't win.
Nope. All right, Spooky. I know you're itching. You're itching to say what you
Go
think
ahead.
it is, so go
I
ahead.
I have
know.
a thought experiment for you all, because
Okay, go ahead.
everybody's
Ooh.
assuming, everybody's literally just assuming that this camera is looking up.
Oh,
Okay.
Point.
So what if this camera is high above, like a lake, and that is a boat out on some water, and you're looking down through some branches
What?
onto the surface of a lake out of focus, and that's why it's just
Oh, and it's
floating
like
there.
water.
Also,
Oh, I
no,
100%
what-
see it now. Spooky, I see it
well,
now.
no,
I see it now.
because the
It
water
looks like
wouldn't
water.
affect. Yeah, but the water wouldn't affect the light. The thought I had for that was this taken in summer where there's a lot of humidity being kicked up off the lake by the sun, that's creating there's like currents. of
Wow,
humidity going
Spooky
up.
just gave me a really weird idea. What if you were looking down towards water at a time in the fall or whatever when there
That could
was
be the
no
moon.
leaves, and that could be a reflection on the water of the moon?
Right?
I mean, is that possible?
Okay. That I can see. Oh shit. That I can see. The moon. Damn it.
Okay. Yep.
And that
I
and
was
if it's a
gonna say
reflection, it
orb,
would
but
ripple like that.
I think we might have just completely debunked this one.
That was
I
easy.
don't
guys.
think we know for sure.
I
But
did it with a pen. I just debunked that with a pen.
I was like, I don't know. It's
Oh
pretty
my
decent.
goodness. Bummer. I was gonna
mean,
say orb. Not you guys
looks
were so hardcore,
So
but
good.
I
I
want
could be.
We
Yeah,
all could
I
be
mean,
wrong.
This would have to be
I'm open
really
being
light
wrong. I mean,
water.
I'm open to it being what it is, but
That's the thing about UFOs. We have at the end of the day. That's why everyone always wants these like
It's
facts and
not
hard concrete things. It's like
news.
none of us know at the end of the day what the hell this is, other than the person who saw it with their own two eyes.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, it looks like the moon the more I look at it.
Yeah, but it also moved like the angles. I don't know.
Yeah,
To
because
be
it's
fair,
different
on the other
ripples going
side, it
across the
does
surface of the water
really
at different angles.
maintain a round
It's shape. Yeah, 100%.
You know, it's not a dot. It's not a planet or a
Mm-mm.
star.
Mm-mm,
It's
mm-mm.
something you're seeing that has a round
It's
shape.
there. Yeah.
You know, but I have to agree with Spooky. It's like, could that be a reflection? Maybe.
Yeah,
You know,
I can see
something
that.
like
Especially
that.
the way those branches are. Why would that be up? It's like the way it's even sketchy. Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
My best
don't
friend
know.
is here. Hi, Kathy, baby.
All right. So the final verdict. I mean, is it need more info?
I think it's need more info.
For me,
I'm saying UFO no,
Ooh,
straight up. And
straight up.
normally
I
I
think
just
I'm
say need more info, but
Need
I'm
more
actually
info.
saying no.
I think I'm gonna
Need
say
more
need more. I'm
info.
gonna I'm gonna change mine to need more info too. I need more info. I wish it was zoomed out in some way. I hate the cropping of it.
That's true. I do wish that they would have at least zoomed out like a little bit.
I can
Just a
if you
whittle.
squint and realize that that's just ripples going across the surface of the water at different angles. You can make out the surface of the moon, but
Gotcha.
the sea and tranquility are on kind of one side. So
Can't get anything
what I
past
agree
you folks.
Can't get anything past UFO folks. You folks,
if this is what it takes. It's what it takes,
we're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Dedication.
right?
Okay, so this one I got because I loved that it said real UFO.
Is that the only reason?
Yeah. Oh. And I know Bree would love it. This is such a Bree video.
Bree's not even here.
I know she disappeared. She was abducted.
Right. I mean, it looks cool. It's a good depiction of that, but it's not real.
Don't you start. Wait, you let Jazz go first.
I'm
Jazz.
Sorry.
wait, can we run that again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Or is it over? Or
No, I'll keep playing
Yeah,
it
we
over
can
and
run
over
it as many
again.
times.
playing it.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
playing it. Because from the okay, there's the disappear part. All right.
Yeah. It's like blinking in and out, little lights going, and then bloop.
Clearly, in the foreground, that's an electrical tower.
Mhm.
You can see the lines. I don't like the distortion of the arms on it. That makes me wonder about the filming because I spent a lot of my life working on electrical issues and power generation, and something I write about is the electrical grid.
Mhm.
And nobody builds power towers that have like robot, like curved arms. I guess I can't say nobody, but they tend to be straight 90-degree angles and
And
lines.
not.
Those are curved, which makes me, and I realize that's the tower, not the object.
Mhm.
But that looks a little odd, like there's some distortion in
And
effect.
Photoshop going on, yeah.
I don't know if
Could
it's
it be a
Photoshop.
really old pylon?
I guess maybe.
Okay.
But the actual object itself, wow, you got me there. Could I rule out that being a implanted thing? There are apps out there that allow you
No,
to
you can
insert
100% say
things.
that. Yeah, you could just say it's not a UFO and it's like CGI or like some sort of Photoshop.
Yeah, but again, I'm going to go back to, and we can talk about this later.
Yeah.
I used to be that guy before November of 2020 where I
Mhm.
saw something like that and I'd be like, oh, it's CGI, you know,
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
And then we saw some shit. And now I find myself every time I see a
Leaving
report
the
from
door
someone
open.
else, it's like, well, I saw some really weird crap. And maybe you did too. So I think
Mhm.
I'm a little more forgiving at this point.
You
But
just
we
you're leaving
also,
the door open, yeah.
right, we have instances we know that people were found out later. They do hoax things. There are people
Oh,
that do that.
100%. Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
and there are apps you can get for free on your phone that'll insert
Mhm.
UFOs into things. But Zignal, if you follow him from the UK, he published
Mhm.
a whole list of the different apps and the images that the free ones insert. I don't
Yeah.
recognize that one. So wow,
It looks like a custom
I'm not
built.
ready to say UFO on this one.
Need more info?
I don't think there is more info.
I don't think so either.
I'm gonna be the bastard here, and I'm gonna give my first no. I'm going UFO no.
UFO no? Wow, that's all good. Yes, UFO no. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's okay. I understand what you're saying. You like to leave the door open. You believe in the possibility that anything and everything exists because of your own experiences, and I think that that's a great way to approach this subject. And I think that that's kind of how me and Bree and Spooky also approach this subject. It's like there are things that we find disbelieving sometimes, but at the end of the day, we're open to all of it because we've all had our own experiences.
We all had times in our lives where we would hear things and be like, "Come on, man."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly something happens, and then the next person that comes along, and it's like, well, a Sasquatch come over to the house and made pancakes for me, and I was like, oh, oh yeah, but I saw 3 Tic Tacs. Yeah, I guess maybe you had Sasquatch
Right.
pancakes. I don't know, So no, I find myself a lot more forgiving at this stage of my life than I used to be, where I was previously only looking for just nuts and bolts and things you can absolutely lock down and, give me a piece of metal or something, or whatever. So, no, I think that's an interesting video, but I do think it's very fakeable.
Mm-hmm.
So, but very fakeable things, maybe they're real, but I'm sorry, I got to come down on a line somewhere according to the rules of the game. I'm going UFO no.
No, you know what? Here's the thing about this. What you are is very classic show. You are what we call a middle bitch. You are taking the middle ground. You're not
Wow,
deciding
now
it's
I'm a
real.
middle bitch
A
on
middle
butt
bitch.
stuff. This is
Yeah.
awesome. My boss
Yeah.
is gonna love this
Love
because I
this.
just found out he was watching.
Did you?
So, yes.
Yeah, we call that middle bitching. It's like middle of the road.
Oh, I
like,
saw.
you
I
know.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's we
I'm
take
always
a very
a middle bitch.
Yeah, Bree is
Yeah.
always a middle bitch. She's always like, I'm just in the middle and all possibilities are real. So we welcome that. You never have to make sides, I think, especially when it comes to this topic, because when you do that, you put yourself in a box, I think. And I think that's what we're all trying not to do, is not to try to put this phenomenon inside of a box and call it a very particular thing.
And now I'm a middle bitch, and I'm probably so fired looking at the comments on my side. So, okay,
Oh no.
let's rock.
No.
All right, Bree,
No.
take the next one.
Spicy jazz chord.
Okay. This is a short video actually, but these are orbs. Well, they say are orbs being captured. So there's one that flies that way, and then to the left of the screen, there's also one moving.
Is the one in the upper right just the moon, and the ones they're supposed to be looking at the ones that are going by?
I think that's
both.
okay. So
I'll
yeah,
say both.
so there's this one that I just paused here that's going left, and then the other one is moving right. That's behind it.
Where's the one moving right?
Here, if I switch it like this.
Oh, okay, that's not the
one.
moon, it is it?
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't know if that's moving. Is that the camera moving?
True.
Because I'm thinking the
I mean,
really
it looks
dim
like
one is
it.
just the background. That could just be the moon on any given night.
I can
But
see
the
that
big
one. Yeah.
bright thing going to the left,
Hmm.
because it does look at the clouds. It looks like the camera's moving. That could be a stationary object, the moon, but while they're filming the moon, something big and bright goes by, which is obviously a lot closer and a lot brighter.
Yeah, it's like I see what you're saying. The camera isn't necessarily moving like this. It's kind of they're slowly moving it, and the clouds are moving.
Yeah, I would like to get a hold of this one and turn it over to a videographer friend of mine in Washington who published a couple analysis of the two videos I got. And he has software that sits there and measures the pixels of everything and how they move. See, right there,
shoot.
that last section, unless the clouds are moving really fast down, then that thing was moving up in relation to the clouds. But he's got some really good software that measures that. But it still does look like maybe the moon off in the distance and there's clouds moving by. But what's the big
Totally
bright
get
ass
what you're saying.
thing going by?
Yeah,
You
they're
know.
filming the wrong thing. They're focusing on the wrong thing.
And also, what were those little dots back at the beginning to the left? Were those just stars that
I think
are moving
they're
with the
just-
frame?
Or
Or
are they
were they
moving?
little things in the background? Do they move in relation to each other? I think that's what
Right.
you need in the because right there, you froze right there. The bright dots at the
Mhm.
upper middle left, and then towards the center down lower, they look like they moved in relation to each other. And if they did, then they're not stars.
Yeah, I see what you're
You know what I'm
saying.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing up there is the moon. The other thing, I think that's a UFO. I'm not saying it's alien, but that's something big that moved across the screen that was very round, assuming it's not CGI, and it doesn't have any distinctive signatures. I'm going to give my first thumbs up. Yes.
Ah, I love that. yes.
All right, let's go to Kari so she doesn't explode.
I know. I feel like she's on the
Oh,
verge.
She's always
I
like
feel
No,
like
that.
I'm treading all over Spooky.
No,
No,
it's
that's
okay.
the vibe of the show. Sometimes I feel like
It's okay. So
Spooky's our good skeptic.
I like.
That's why
I
she
actually
has
like
a
this
purpose
video.
here.
So I know that it's not the moon because those are stars,
Stop, Jamie.
and
He's a
they
giant.
move.
Oh, they move in relation to the moon, if that's the moon.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I
so
see what you're
smart.
Mm.
Damn,
point.
you guys.
Good point, Spooky.
Killing me.
And then it's hard to tell, but yeah, about here it actually changes direction. So it does. So would it be?
It does look like it does, unless that's the camera moving in conjunction with the motion of the
Yeah,
wind and hitting the clouds. Hard to say.
I mean, it need to be high definition, but
Yeah, the biggest indication for me is the big
That.
bright thing that goes
See?
across. That's definitely moving in relation to everything else.
it does a pretty sharp 90-degree turn,
Mm.
Yeah.
but it's curved, so it's not super sharp. It's like a swings round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, right
Like
there.
kind-
I see what Spooky is saying.
Like a little
It's-
curve almost.
Even if the clouds are moving in one direction, it definitely made like a right-hand turn to the viewer perspective and moved. So that's, I guess, not the moon. Yeah, this could be a really weird event. Yeah, I'm still leaning towards UFO. Yes.
I'm leaning towards UFO. Yes,
Oh,
I love more information about it because it's.
Oh, we always.
I'm not even counting that thing in the foreground. That's a bug or something.
It
That
sounded
thing
like
in
a
the background is
UFO.
what's interesting me. And I think the
this
purpose
is-
of the video is actually supposed to be the thing in the foreground that everyone's interested in, but I'm actually interested in that thing in the background.
We don't know,
Interesting.
but I think there's at least one and possibly more things that even if they're not alien, these are things that are in the sky flying, and we can't identify them.
But they are
that.
unidentified. Exactly.
They're weird.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
They are weird.
Could agree more. All right, I think that's our
Oh,
first.
so you
UFO
agree too,
yes.
Jamie?
Yeah, I'm gonna give
You
it.
agree too?
I'm gonna go with the crowd, and I'm gonna say, you know what? Yeah, that gives me. It's definitely unidentified. I have more questions than I do answers, so unidentified.
Populist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Oh, I am a
No one
populist.
asked me, but I agree.
Listen, I'm a Libra. Bree, what do you? I wasn't there yet. Bree, what is your opinion?
I say UFO, yes, for show.
Okay, why?
It's weird. Just because it's very orby and it looks like it moves fast. I mean, we don't know for sure. It could always be a sped up video. But I feel like they're both something weird. The one that goes that way and the one that's moving this way just looks like it's jamming. And the shape of it, the size of it, I don't think that's the moon. It's weird. I mean, I don't know if it's like a ghost orb, but it's something strange like that.
I wish I had sent you my orb video beforehand because we could.
I know
play
that.
No,
I'm
we
the
so
same
curious to
game,
see.
and it's further away, but it's definitely round like that. It's not just like a spot in the sky, you know. So
Now, did you really move somewhere different than you have been living previously? Like before the 14 months, you said that you've seen all these
oh no, we've
orbs
been
and
here
stuff.
27 years, yeah, but I'd never seen
Wow,
anything.
so it's just 14 months ago, all of a sudden,
just out of nowhere.
they're just popping up like, hey, Jazz, hey, Jazz, hey, Jazz.
November of 2020, I went out on my front porch, and I always go out in the evening, and I'm always looking at the sky anyway. Never saw anything definitive. I mean, everybody sees the occasional odd point of light or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I walked out, and my front door faces east, and there's a ridge to the east of my house, and above it, there was this round thing. It was like 9 o'clock at night. It was dark, and it was just all these colors that were shifting, and it was just slowly going over from south to north, and then it stopped, and it came over, and it moved. And I like I said, if you go watch the video, it's far away. I filmed this thing for like 5.5 minutes, and it just kept doing it.
Is this on your
You
channel?
know,
Is this on your channel?
it's on my YouTube channel. Yeah.
Can we play it?
You're free to if you want. No, we're not gonna play the whole thing. It's really
Oh no,
long.
not the whole thing, but let's check it out so we have a visual.
I don't know if you already have a link to my channel, but
Of course, yeah.
it went back and forth, and I just kept filming it. I was sitting there the whole time, and you can hear me talking. It's like, what the F is that? Can we swear on here?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck is this? You know?
100%.
And it's just going back and forth, and it was round like that, but it just kept shifting colors. It wasn't a helicopter. I lived near. I was in the military. I served on an aircraft carrier. I've seen all that shit, and the video doesn't do it justice. But out there in the distance, you're looking at it right now. 5 minutes of this thing was just. You can see a line of lights. Those are traffic lights at the top of a ridge to the east of my house. But above it, out in the clear blue sky, there's this thing that keeps changing color, and it just keeps going back and forth for like 5.5 minutes. And I did checks to see if anybody else had reported anything, because it was way bigger than a star. When you looked at it, it was definitely round, So that's my orb experience. What are you? Yeah, that was the first. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I see it. I see it.
That was the first Tic Tac. So less than a week after that.
Oh wow, that's a good frame.
That's the Tic Tac right there.
You can see the shadow.
There's a link in that video to a videographer in Washington D.C. who went and extrapolated everything, zoomed it in, and put color correction on it, and he actually got a picture of this Tic Tac shaped round blue thing in one frame before it disappeared. And if you watch the end of that film, there's a clear blue sky, there's that thing, one frame, next frame, clear blue sky, nothing. It friggin' disappeared. That was the first of 3 of those that we've seen. In between, the week after the orb that Spooky was just showing, I didn't get that one on.
Whereabouts in New York was that?
I live I'm not in the city. This is upstate New York, just north of the Pennsylvania border.
So I know a few other people in New York who Skywatch, so they might have.
Yeah, this is I'm in a suburban area north of the PA border, about 5 hours from New York City. The week after that orb that went back and forth for 5 minutes, my wife was the one who filmed, and this was the video is totally useless. There's nothing because it was a dark night. But I was out on my back deck while she was out on the street, one house away from us, walking our dog, and she filmed it. And this triangle shaped, I don't know what, blocked out the clouds of the night sky and just silently just glided. I'm sorry, I'm an English
I don't.
major.
I
should
know.
that
I'm just
one.
thinking of that.
Glid
Just
feels
went-
right to me.
Went
I
Glid
understand
over
feels
what
our
you
right.
meant.
house, and underneath it there were all these little lights, but it wasn't like they were attached to it. They looked like Christmas tree lights, different colors, shifting, but they shifted in relation to each other, and they were just like moving around underneath it, you know. And it just glided over our house quietly, and it went away. So those were our first two, and then we had the 3 Tic Tacs over the last year. So, but I mean, I had never before that. I'd never seen a damn thing. And then we
That's
saw
a
this, and I was just
definitely
like,
Tic
okay, all you people saying all this crazy shit, you're probably not crazy, you know.
100%.
So
I wish there was a way to zoom in.
I know, right?
yeah, me
I
too.
wanna, like,
The one
fucking-
time I zoomed in, I lost it entirely. But I got to tell you, and I hope everybody that owns a camera that does these things, and if you go look at the enhanced one that I've linked from there that the videographer did,
Yeah, go to the enhanced one, Spooky.
it's like I understand, and I said right from the beginning, the video's crap. It's shit. I don't
It's linked
expect
in it.
anybody to believe it.
It's linked in it.
It's
Yeah.
linked in the comments below
Oh,
that
okay,
one.
okay.
But the guy who enhanced it and got this really great screen grab at the end, you know, it looks so much different to the naked eye, to us, as to what my crap ass camera was able to pick up. This is the one. Yeah. And right at the end, he goes through and finds all this weird shit going in. But he was able to do measurements, and he did show that
Oh,
it did not move in relation to my neighbor's house. It didn't move. It was hanging there, motionless in the sky. And then if you catch the last frame in this
oh,
video, he went and caught the largest number of pixels he was able to catch. And what it looks like, and I still get chills when you look at the very last thing he caught, where he got the highest number of pixels before it disappeared. And it didn't fly away, it didn't crash, it disappeared. These were weird things that went by.
oh.
I still think they
yeah.
might have been bugs. They could have, and he admitted they could have been bugs flying past the camera. You know, there,
Oh,
freeze that.
wow.
Oh,
That
go back,
was the
yeah.
end. That was the end. That's what we saw. It had come by being parallel, and then it started to turn towards us. If the right-hand side is the nose, who knows? I don't know how they friggin' work.
Who
But
knows?
it started to turn towards us, and then it vanished. And the next frame was empty sky. It was gone. That's what I saw. So if you want to know if anybody's ever seen a friggin' Tic Tac, I've seen one.
You
And
have.
that's it right there,
Great.
yeah.
But I got
Pretty
that
cool.
one on video, even though the video's crappy. And I apologize for that.
No. Listen,
I
that's
think
the
it's
thing
interesting.
about footage, though. It's so hard to get, and people are always like, grab your camera and just do it. And they underestimate exactly what it is you're even getting a picture of.
Yep. But we saw it in real life. You know, it was like and look at it's not a nighttime thing. It's not cloudy. Oh, it's going behind. This was clear blue sky. That's my neighbor's house on the
Be
right.
back one
You can
sec.
see there was not even any clouds. It was broad daylight. All 3 of them have been broad daylight, just right there hanging in the goddamn sky. And then you go and tell people, and they're like, well, yeah, it could be a blimp or something. I was like, dude, this wasn't a goddamn blimp.
No, it wasn't a blimp. You would know if you saw it.
It'd be big too. I don't think it would be that far back.
I
That's
love
cool.
it. It's gorgeous.
Anyway,
Gorgeous.
It was just an oval. So thanks for sharing that. I'm
No,
glad to share it with
absolutely.
everybody else.
Oh, sorry.
I'm glad
I didn't
that
know
we
where
were
you
able to
went,
share
Corey.
that.
Everybody is free to call me a liar or say
No.
that was a
No.
hoax or I like I'm some video genius and I superimposed that. If I superimposed that, I would have done a hell of a lot better job, you know, because it was crappy video. But I'll tell you, when you were there in real life, ladies, you watch that.
100%. No,
It
we see.
changed my entire life.
That's why
And
me
my
and
whole
Bree.
world changed.
That's why me and Bree and Spooky are such big advocates for having people like having their own experiences and seeing this craft and these things. Why we always say like it's not about like showing you a video to make you believe, you just have to experience it, because once you do, it completely changes your outlook on life and the way that you think and everything.
What do you think, Spooky? Fake? Did I CGI it?
I like
Yeah.
the second one you got quite a lot. The first one is interesting too. I can't. I wish there was more information or more like.
Oh, the
know,
first
more
one with the
pixels or
orb.
what
I
they
still
call it.
don't have any idea. It was just a
It's a cool
round
sighting.
thing off in the distance.
I mean, this could be a banking aircraft, but it does have a cool kind of
Yeah, but it wasn't.
shadow.
I live near
What
an
does it look
airport.
like?
I watch aircraft over
okay.
my house all the time.
Okay.
It's just like, yeah.
It was just a tube. That's all it was. There was no
Banking
wings.
aircraft.
There was no tail. There was no jet exhaust. There's no windows. It was just a tube. You know.
That's crazy.
But I know you don't know that because the video is too shitty to show it. But
That's the
No,
hard
what-
part.
videos go.
All
Planes
videos.
go over my house all the time. If anybody wants to check, I don't even delete them all. When I'm out there on my back deck, I
Mhm.
always have my camera in my pocket, and I
Mhm, mhm.
always have the video recorder
Ready
in the
to go?
background, up and in background, not in still picture, in video, ready to grab it and hit it. Because now, after 3 times, I never know when they're going to come by. But I
That's
will
so
tell you,
cool.
I have filmed so many planes that I see something, I'm like, wait, is that something? And I start filming it, and I'm like, oh, that's a plane.
Oh,
It's
no.
a plane. Mm-hmm.
Because I live near a regional airport, and there's a Boeing facility near me that makes helicopters. They fly year round. You know,
That's cool.
And I know what all those look like, but no, I understand. I can't convince Spooky. I can't convince anybody based on those videos because my camera does a shit job of this, and I'm not a photographer, you know. But I will tell you, I know what planes look like. I watch them go by every single day. Those 3 Tic Tacs, those were not planes. They had no wings.
I believe you,
They were
Jazz.
just. I don't know if they're alien. I'm not telling you that. I've never had any communications. I've never been abducted that I know of. Never had a download or anything. These are just things that appear in the sky near our house. And my wife and I, for the last year and a couple of months, have been watching them. We've never seen anything, and all of a sudden, are they showing up more often? Or is it just
Right.
because after we saw one, we're always watching?
Looking.
Maybe they were
Mhm, mhm.
always going by and I never friggin' noticed. You know, I don't have any answers for anybody. And no, I've had no communication of any sort. I don't know if there are aliens. They could be just super hyper intelligent, you know, artificial intelligence or something, you know, from somewhere else. Or who knows? You want to say it's the Russians? Fine, go with it. I
love
don't
that.
think anybody has that.
I
But
think that everybody needs their way to try to make it make sense to them in their brain. You know what I mean? Everybody has their weird theory on what they think that it is.
sure. So I totally derailed the entire show from looking.
No,
at
you're
videos.
fine. You're fine because I already have the next one loaded up and ready to go.
Undeniable
let's-
I had
UFO
my-
footage
I
from
had my
South
concentration
Carolina.
Pause it a sec.
Pause it. Go
I
to
had my concentration broken during all that anyway because I had a C-17 Globemaster 3 fly over my house at 2,000 feet. It was very, very loud. That's
Very
why I turned
loud?
around like,
Oh.
what is that?
Oh, I didn't even see you.
What is that? Yeah, it went like pretty much over my house.
So this is undeniable UFO footage from South
Oh
Carolina.
my
Spooky,
gosh.
Undeniable.
taken on 1/6/22, so not that long ago.
January 6th. Okay.
Check out this undeniable UFO footage from South Carolina. Filmed January 6, 2022. Do you believe?
Do you believe?
What?
I mean,
I hate TikTok. Why have they taken a widescreen video then formatted it to be?
Is that the guy's face? He's like filming over his head, or
Yeah, I feel like
This
it's
is
like
so
out in front
dark
of them.
that-
Mm-hmm.
no? I need to maximize the screen on this.
Maximize it.
Oh.
And then it completely changes. Okay, I'm gonna start it over.
Okay, it's 3 lights.
Oh, the end is
Let's
good.
start over. Yeah, I'm gonna start over. Okay.
That's
Can
a
you
house.
work out
Okay.
what the
Yeah.
details are in that video? Like that
Commander
banner?
King, that's a TikTok of a TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it Spanish?
It's a TikTok of a TikTok.
Yeah, but I want to find the. That's obviously a YouTube video. I want to find it.
I
Probably.
just want to make sure I'm not that little peak. If you freeze it right now,
Yeah, that's a house.
That's
That's a house
a
right
that's
there.
the peak of a house. So we're
Yeah, it's a
looking at
peak of a
night
house.
in a neighborhood and something up in the sky. Okay, just want
Yeah.
to make sure.
Yeah.
All right. And there's something red out to the right behind it that's blinking. Don't know
I'm
what that was.
gonna do that end again.
Those are bright.
There's like one frame with the red orb.
Is he near an airport?
Yeah.
Because bright white lights from the front generally signify landing lights to me on commercial aircraft. I don't know what the red thing is. It's not Mars. That's like way too bright and way too red, unless it's been enhanced in some fashion.
Yeah, no, this one I can't make out what is going on with this one, but this video and the very first video don't look like the same two videos.
The quality is really low.
I'm
so-
Yeah.
gonna do the unthinkable and literally put in to YouTube undeniable UFO
footage from South Carolina. Video taken 1/6/22.
I mean, stranger things have happened.
I know. Maybe the red is part of it. Yeah, like maybe the nose or the tail of it or something.
Because that looks like it was
That would
much
be
higher
huge, right?
resolution.
Maybe.
That would
Oh,
be
no.
big. Let me just play that end part again. Cause watch it like jump. See how it like cuts to it.
No luck.
You mean cuts like maybe they added it? Like it was
No,
two
yeah, like
different frames?
watch, like it makes you think that they zoomed in, but they didn't. Watch. Okay, I'm gonna push play. So see this and then watch. Cut.
Oh, I see
Yeah,
what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, that could be very, very smooth keyframing, but I doubt it.
I doubt that, but why not? Why not? Yeah, I don't know about this one. I don't know. I'm gonna let Jazz go first. Go for it, Jazz. You're saying,
doubt
right
it.
off the bat.
I doubt it.
I doubt it. UFO no. Right off the bat.
UFO no.
UFO no. Right off the bat. Yeah. I'm gonna have to say no too. Ooh. I
You
didn't
say
mean
no
to put it back.
too?
What was that?
I didn't mean to put it back. I was trying to get rid of it. Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh.
say no too. Like it's just too sketchy for me. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't seem. I don't know. It just seems like a video at night.
I have to say,
You were saying?
I have to say it's a yes because
Tardigrades.
Your tardigrades.
They're unkillable.
They're unkillable. Okay, go ahead, Brie. I'm so sorry. That really wasn't me. So you know.
No, that was me twice.
I know. I was gonna say that I have to say it's a yes only because the video says that it's undeniable proof.
Oh well. Okay, I take back mine. There you go. Missed that
Okay.
part.
I was like, that's right. It does say it's. And not only does it say it, but I said it beforehand, and then he reread everything that I. Yeah, life's a journey.
Life is a journey.
Life is a journey. 100%. Yeah.
Let's get the Bigfoot with the sex phone. This is definitely all established. So
All right. Yeah. Hold on. I feel like that's exactly what this needs right now.
I think we both put
Ah!
oh, I am so
Ah.
glad.
I love that.
Oh,
love
I'm
that.
so unemployed.
It's Saxquatch. Saxquatch is what did it. They're like, listen, I don't understand the Saxquatch. That's what tipped us over the edge. It's the saxophone. We can't do it
Exactly.
anymore.
We're fine with the
Definitely fine.
UFOs and the aliens, but you're
They're
in
like
the
the
Sasquatch,
Sasquatch
so you're
with the
you're
UFO, they're
gone.
like, you're
you're
gone.
fired,
Wait.
dude.
You're done.
So-
You're done.
Do you work with the debrief? Am I correct?
Oh, I'm not
Assuming
fired
that?
from the debrief.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
a
was going to say, I
member of
mean, the debrief is
I
a
write
pretty
at the
loaded
debrief,
sexual
yes.
term if you think about it.
The debrief. Oh yeah, that's a little sexual. I agree with that one.
We just had a
debrief.
joke going around a little while ago with Tim McMillan about that earlier, about his alternate side of the debriefed, about people who get their underwear taken off. So, but that's a whole
Yes!
nother story.
That's right on point. I love that. That's right
No,
on point.
my regular job that actually pays all the bills
The
is
human
with a
job, yes.
completely non-UFO related
Boo. No
government and
fun.
political site.
Oh no.
Well, it's actually paid for my house and
I was
kept
like,
us
it pays the
alive.
bills.
Okay,
I
yes,
was like,
yes,
you
of
can't.
course.
I was like, I got
There's
the
always
human
that
job
tie.
too.
I write about energy policy and a bunch of other stuff, and has nothing
Ooh.
to do with aliens. They did let me start writing about UFOs.
Oh, that's
In
cool.
January of 2018, shortly after, and I've been the UFO guy there ever since. But that's still
cool.
like
Wait,
2%
this one
of
right
my
here.
job,
Mhm.
and the rest of it's just all policy stuff.
Wow.
That's
And
pretty
but
cool,
I
'cause,
became
like-
the UFO guy, and I'm totally happy with that, and it's done really well for us. But all at the same time, the people I work for, it's always like, okay, this is all stuff the government's talking about in the Gillibrand Amendment, and it's government policy, but it involves UFOs. So you can write about this, but let's not get too carried away. So I have not one article on our main site about my own sightings or my own experiences. I
cool.
cover government policy, government coverage of this, the
Mhm.
investigations, ATIP, OSAP, all that. I write about all that. I don't get to publish one single article at our main site
All that awesome.
about, I've seen some goddamn UFOs and we're not alone,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
is what I write over at the debrief. Plus, I do
Ah.
investigations of,
Yeah,
soul
you have your little
sightings and-
outlets where you can get it out. You have your, like I call
I
it,
write
my
for, like-
human job, and you're
I
like
write for
going
like
out there.
9 different places, but my main job,
yeah.
no. My main job is to cover like what is the government interaction between the
Mm.
UFO subject and policy, defense, the intelligence agencies. That's the stuff I write about.
I see. That's why you
You know.
came from the more nuts and bolts sides of things.
Seems
Yeah,
that
like I said,
should be.
until
in organizations
November,
like that, it's always good to have. I mean, it all starts with one, right? In every organization, it's going to start with one person covering it, and then eventually, as it starts rolling on, there's going to be other people that come, I assume, and want to do
Yeah.
other stories, and it grows. That's good. Good for you
my
for doing
last
that. Good.
article at the debrief was not about about me or any of this. I published an article covering all of the other mainstream media journalist people who, in the last 4 years, have started honestly reporting on the topic without being overly dramatic or without being dismissive, and just going investigating it. And I gave examples of a whole bunch of mainstream journalists, and links to examples of their work, video work, published articles, and there's a lot more of that. I don't consider myself one of those stars. I'm just somebody that covers the media along with all the rest of this. But it's very encouraging. A lot of that's been going on. But it doesn't mean that I get to go out and go on my site and go, and oh, by the way, I was abducted.
Mhm,
Oh,
mhm,
no
mhm,
fun.
mhm.
Get
What
in,
if you had
losers.
an
We're
abduction
doing butt
experience,
stuff.
though?
I was like, what if
If
you were
you-
at work and had an abduction experience? Then would they let you?
Probably not. Not unless
Damn
they actually
it.
watch it themselves. So.
Next
So
company
there's
party.
a line where it comes to the believability of personal experience.
Can I ask you, all three of you, a question?
Yes, 100%.
Like I said, I watched a bunch of your shows.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some summaries. I've seen
Mhm.
some clips.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen your own personal background from when you were younger and got to know each other, particularly
Mhm,
Jamie and Bree, and you had experiences. I have still, and I've done some digging,
Mhm.
not enough certainly.
Ooh.
I've never actually heard you tell the story, and I don't want you to tell the whole story and take up the whole show because of what we're doing. But like I said, to my knowledge, I've never been abducted. I've never even seen
Mm-hmm.
an entity. I've never had a download like people talk about. I've
Mm-hmm.
never had any communication. I've yelled at these things in the sky and I heard nothing. So I would put my level of if it is an extraterrestrial presence, I would put my level of interaction and knowledge at like maybe a 1 on a scale of 10.
The contact scale.
How would all three of you rate your scale in terms of you're in a non-judgmental place here, by the way, because
Yeah, of course.
after what I've seen,
Of course.
I don't question
Same here.
anybody.
Same here.
I'm at less than a 1. I just know there's things. There's things in the sky. There's weird shit I can't explain that does stuff that I don't think it's even possible for us to do. That puts me at less than a 1. All three of you, ladies, where would you put yourself in terms of your being convinced that it's not just things, but there are other entities, other intellects that are relating to this based on your own personal experiences?
10.
All 10.
10. Solid
Spooky?
10.
1000%.
10.
There's no
So
part
you've
of me
got
that
10.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no part of me that questions it. Bigfoot, I always tell people I want to believe. I believe Kari's story. She's seen a Bigfoot, but I have
was
yet to
fun.
have an experience with
Terrifying, but
that.
fun.
And so I
An 8 on
always
Bigfoot.
tell people if I took a lie detector test, I would not pass if someone asked me if I believed in Bigfoot, because I just wholeheartedly don't know that.
All right.
But when it
I'm
comes to
always
beings,
open to this.
UFOs,
I just wanted to hear
all
all
of
of you
that,
say it.
yes.
Yeah, I think I'm
Yes,
open. I'm open.
100%.
I'm open to all of it, which is why I'm a 10. Like, I don't
I
necessarily
think
have to
everybody here
believe
is a 10 on
everything.
the existence of UFOs. I'm just more
For
curious
sure.
about, are there entities?
Yes.
Because I still there's a part of the back
Okay.
of my mind that
There's
says,
entities,
well,
and they're
what if it's
having
just super intelligent
direct.
I think entities is a
artificial
loaded term.
intelligence?
So
What
I
That's
think
still.
that's still a possibility and part of it, I think, at the end of the day. So I think that, okay, I think a big problem a lot of people have when they talk about UFOs is they think strictly it is like, quote unquote, little green men inside of a UFO. They're coming down and talk to us, right? Some variation of that story. But I think that over time, especially like the three of us, as we've researched UFOs and aliens and things, realize that it's much bigger than that. That's not just about things from space. It's about different dimensions and different levels of consciousness. And it's so much bigger than just such a small thing. So I think that an artificial intelligence is a huge possibility. And I don't think that we have to say it's just any one of these things. I think that all of those things coexist, and it can be like, there could be definitely little green men who come down in ships, but I think that there's also like extra dimensional beings, and you know, Bree has a lot of experiences with beings inside of like her meditations and her dream times and the astral plane and stuff like that. And there's different experiences that people can have with different types of quote unquote entities, or what this phenomenon is.
Yeah, not just one thing. I think that I've said that before. I think that's why we get so confused on what things are, is because I don't think it's just one. I feel like it's almost impossible to say that it's just one thing. It has to be, in my opinion, I think it has to be all of it. And it's just conjumbled. And that's why we're always here kind of left with the pieces trying to figure out what is what, how does this work and that work. But I think it's because all of this is happening at the same time. Everyone's having different experiences at that different time with those different types of beings and different types of contact. There's direct contact.
I love your
indirect
cat.
contact.
Stinky.
That's stinky.
We have 3 cats. I'm sorry.
I love that.
I have 2. They're my
Kari,
children.
would you define, because I've seen a bunch of shows, but not all of them. Would you define your own experiences as more physical or metaphysical? I mean, in terms of beings, not crafts. Was it something? Because I don't know the story, and I apologize in advance for that.
Trying to quantify it,
like
because it's like
visual things that you would see or have the normal 5 sensory experiences of sight, sound, smell, or more metaphysical and sensations that are very realistic, which I don't discount.
I've had experiences of both.
Okay.
So I've had experiences where it's been a very much like meditational stuff, but then I've also had experiences where I've seen something that's had a physical effect on the room that I'm in and it disappeared, kind of thing. And that's kind of hard to escape the reality of when you see it, and it does something that then an hour later you're
Just
cleaning up. It's like, okay, I'm cleaning this up because it was in October by something. So yeah, it was weird. It was a weird
And that
one.
seems very physical, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So,
See, there's this. I have this growing sense as somebody coming from the nuts and bolts side.
That's
that
where I
there
came
are-
from.
There are so many people you can get into the Skinwalker Ranch people, and so many, experiencers that talk about things where they always thought, well, either there's aliens with spacecraft or there isn't,
Mhm.
and maybe they come here and they do things, and other people who are like, wow, we see all these paranormal things, and it doesn't really have any relationship. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a breaking news thing.
Tell
This
us,
is
please.
something that I have been dealing with for a while, and
Okay.
I've spoken in private with a bunch of other people. But my position on this has started to shift a little in the last 6 months, because our last Tic Tac sighting was in August of last year. And it was about a month after that. Wow, I'm going to regret this a lot, aren't I?
No.
No, you won't, because you're not the first, and you're not going to be the last.
You're the last.
I
Nope.
have not had anything like what Carrie's talking about. None of that. But in my house, about a month after the last Tic Tac sighting, I went upstairs and I saw, and I'm not going to take up the whole show and come up with a step by step.
This show's about
Please
you,
do.
baby.
Yeah,
Do
please
what
do.
you
Yeah.
want.
You're king of the show.
I
Yeah.
saw,
it's a jazz. jam.
and
Jazz jam.
I was not in any way in doubt. Well, okay, there was some doubt initially.
Mhm.
Our house is a colonial 3-story basement, ground floor, upper floor thing. I walked up the stairs, and I saw, walking out of the bathroom in our upstairs floor and over into our guest bedroom, what I could only describe as a shadow cat. It was the shape of a cat, but it wasn't one of our cats, and all 3 of our cats were accounted for downstairs. And it was walking. I didn't say a word to anybody, including my wife, about this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've now seen it 12 times.
Wow.
After the 3rd time, I went and told my wife, and she was, "Oh, you saw the ghost cat?" And she had been seeing it for the last year. And
Waiting for you.
I will, but I've never gotten a picture. If you ever go looking for it and you got your camera ready, you only see it when you're least expecting it, right?
In before
So
Ghost
that's
Cat
the
knocks
thing
something
that
over.
our family has dealt with. I'm not saying it's on the scale of any of what you guys have dealt with. It's not ghosts. It's
No, that is.
who
So
the
I think
hell knows
that's
what it is.
so that's the thing, though. I think that we talk about
But
here
I
a lot
keep
on this
wondering, it's like
general.
after you see the Tic Tac, and then suddenly that happens. Are they connected?
Yeah.
Because I never saw any goddamn ghosts in my friggin' house in 26 years. And I've never seen a ghost like a person or anything, like nothing weird like that. But just this shadow cat thing. And we've seen it like a dozen times. And we only have 3 cats. I know where they are and I know what they look like.
All the times, yeah.
And I don't know, does that relate to any of your experiences?
Yes. It just this channel as a whole. So when we first started out, it was so strictly alien and very nuts and boltsy, like you're talking about, although Bree's been very consciousness throughout the whole time. But one thing that this channel is like in today's age and over the past, I think like 6-7 months, is we've said that the phenomenon of alien and ghosts and paranormal and all that stuff is all the same thing. They're not different
I don't
camps.
want to think that.
I know. But here's the thing. But I think at the end of the day, what it goes back to is that idea of when we say aliens are little green men from space, whereas I now think that aliens are from interdimensional beings, and so are ghosts. So that veil of what those entities are become a lot thinner, and they start to get grouped together, because I think that it's so much more than that, traveling between times and dimensions.
Want it to be
I
ghosts.
know. But what
Jamie,
about
I
Skinwalker?
really-
But
He
what
can't
about
put a finger
Skinwalker?
on it.
wanna
But what about
give you those.
Skinwalker? But what about Skinwalker? You know?
I have called bullshit on Skinwalker
Have you?
and Blind Frog so many times.
So here's the deal. Would you
And-
go? Would you go if you had the opportunity to
Not
go?
a
And
chance.
why
Never.
not? Why?
Because now I've
So you
already
believe
seen
it a little
shit,
bit? So you believe
and
it a little bit?
if I get a hitchhiker,
No, he
that
doesn't want to
comes
waste his
back,
time.
I've already got a
Mm.
ghost cat in my house. I don't need
You don't want
something like
more?
that dragging me home. I'm not saying it's real, but I'm getting a little more conservative as I get older, and I'm like, why would you take the chance? Because clearly these people have been experiencing things out at Skinwalker.
For sure.
Why do I know what those experiences are? No. Could it be something else that we haven't interpreted correctly? Yes.
100%.
Do you want to roll the dice and go, oh, well, I'll go and do a
Yes.
satanic ritual out on this ranch?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm
In.
going home.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got a
in.
football game to watch.
Right.
I
We're like
would.
down.
I would. I'm down. I think I've always
No.
said the minute we looked
Not
into
a
Skinwalker,
chance.
we said we go. I don't think I'd do a satanic ritual there, although I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to that if that's
I'll
like
deal
what
with the ghost
people
cat.
want
All
to
right.
do. But
I'll just
Stick
say
with
this.
the
I was
ghost
like-
cat.
I
Fine
was like,
with the ghost cat.
you're dipping your toe in
Never
it.
felt
Maybe
any
one day you'll
fear.
change your mind.
My wife has never felt any fear.
That's good though.
It's just this thing
It's a
that
spirit,
walks
yeah.
by.
Mhm.
I don't need it delving into the next horror movie.
Mhm.
You know, I
Mhm.
don't need something gigantic coming out of the wall and blood dripping down the in the side walls. I don't need that. I'm
Mhm.
okay with the ghost cat. That's fine.
And that's your line. You're like, I'm all right here. Well, I
I'm
like
done.
that you're.
That's as far as I'm going.
I know that you don't
Yep.
want to go there, but I hope that one day you're more open to that idea because I think that that's where this
Mhm.
phenomenon is going. Honestly, I think that that's where the conversation is going with the
Sure.
masses.
Everyone seems to because
Mhm.
people
I
are
see
putting
what
the
you're
pieces
saying.
together.
But
Mhm.
also keep in mind that all three of you ladies are young enough to be my grandchildren.
Yes.
I don't have as much room to adapt at this point, mentally,
Mm,
emotionally.
Never.
I'm kind of
never.
set where I am, and I
you're in
need
your
to
ways.
try to finish.
No.
Well, yeah, partly that, but I'm near the end. I have a wife I have to take care of. We have a lot of priorities. I need to keep things stable
I
and stay
understand what
on
you're
a stable
saying.
track,
Yep.
and
Yep.
I cannot let this topic
Derail that.
suddenly
Yeah.
Right.
thank you, that's the word, derail everything. I
Mhm.
need to keep things stable in my house. You guys are, all three of you, you ladies you can like launch out
Oh,
on a
yeah.
new horizon like I did at your age, long before you were born. I sailed around the world. I did all kinds of amazing things. I'm not at that point anymore.
Fun.
I need to keep shit locked down. You know,
No, I understand.
that's
I
what I'm
understand
looking
that.
for.
Listen, at the end of the day, we all have to still live here on Earth and deal with like Earth shit.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes.
100%.
But I still think that no matter what age, your mind still has room to grow and shift.
I hope
know?
so.
Oh,
I hope.
mine's been shifting a lot in the last 13 months. Trust
Just
me.
slowly.
And that's
just slowly.
exciting because it gives me hope that things never come to an end, that it doesn't matter your age, you still have room to change your mind always.
I hope
Mhm.
so. And I was guilty of that, Bree. If you had come to me 24 months ago and said the phrase ghost cat, I might have suggested you might need to see someone
Like a mental hospital,
sure.
yeah.
and perhaps some psychotherapy medicines, something like
Mhm.
that. I don't know.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
I have to know,
Yes.
what's my time limit on this?
We have another hour if you
Forever.
want.
All right, I'll tell you what. I
Tell
thought
me.
it was 1 hour.
No, it's 2.
I've
You
been
can
getting the
go as long
signal.
as you like.
I need, if you guys can freestyle,
Yeah,
I need
100%.
a 5-minute break to go take
Go
care of
for it.
something.
100%.
Sure.
I can do more if you want.
100%. Yeah.
If you're done with me, I can
No,
leave.
absolutely no. No, go do your thing. We'll free ball it for a little bit without
Okay.
you.
Throw me in the back room.
All right, deal. Bam. Oh my god, yes. I love
I
that.
love him. Okay.
Do you want to play
I
a video? Should we talk to the chat? Because I feel like you have some pent up things. I think before we go anywhere, I need to say that we did get 2 donations during the show. We got one donation from somebody, which I think is Kathy, said spit in my mouth. And then the second was Megan that said anti-fester brigade. Thank you. We love you
Yes.
both.
We do love you both. You guys are awesome.
You guys both are wonderful.
Thank you so much. You are amazing.
Okay,
You
go
are
ahead, Bree.
amazing.
What do you have to say?
I have lots of things to say to you, but first things first, you played Jerry not that long ago, and so
Hey, old man, give me everything.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
you dirty slut, you taste delicious. We have a whole saga now.
Right?
Like, what's next? Every time they make a video, I make a video. They make a video, I make a video. It's like just.
I was like, I don't know. So we're leaving the saga off on this channel with Bree rising from the dead. And me and Spook are going to have to come up with something. I don't know what it is yet, but give us time. Give us time.
I don't know. I was quick on my feet.
I was quick on it too.
Jamie, go out into the desert and film yourself digging a hole.
Okay, hold on.
Quit. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Get out of
Get
there.
out of there.
Okay.
Gosh, we should make a butt stuff pizza. Everyone's
Official
always
butt
talking about
stuff
pizza
pizza.
in here.
Would you guys, when Chad comes on this weekend and we talk to him about merch, would you guys buy t-shirts that says I went to butt stuff and all I got was hate crimed? Would you guys buy those shirts with like the hate crime drip coming down? Find a way to do it.
Yeah.
I came to butt stuff and all I got was hate crimed.
Bobby, straight up, no.
Absolutely not.
Straight up, just no. No. No.
No. Extra no. All right.
We had so many merch ideas.
Oh,
like,
Michael will.
yes, Michael.
Brooke is thinking about it. I would be shunned.
Although
from-
Michael's would now have to be like, I did butt stuff with my daughter and her friends, and all I got was hate crimed.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
Michael's will
now
have to
I'm
say
Michael's
that.
daughter. So
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Michael's on. I
That's
did
a
butt
rough
stuff
one.
with my daughter and her friends.
yeah.
Don't forget we got that dolphin video.
Put anything on a shirt.
Should we just play the? Oh no, Jess is back. No dolphins.
Absolutely not.
It's not.
Absolutely not.
But it's not.
Why'd you kick them out?
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I was trying to add him, and I think you were adding him at the same time. I apologize. You're here now.
But it's not that.
Welcome
it's
back,
just about,
Jess.
It's just about a man who
You
Nope.
missed the whole.
who
we have
makes
a
love
whole
to dolphins.
saga.
No,
Oh, you're
Oh,
muted.
you're muted, Jazz Love.
Sorry, I went to the event, but I had sex with a dolphin. You know, I might buy that. I have so much dolphin merch; it's not even funny. So
Tell me about the dolphins. Tell me about the
Yeah.
dolphins. What's the story? Because I made you something earlier. because every time you mention Jazz Shaw, everyone's always like, "Oh,
The
asking
dolphin
about dolphins
emperor,
and
yeah.
aliens." So I made this for you. If you look at Spooky,
Um,
it's a dolphin alien.
yeah, I can see.
This is
Give
my
it a
life
nice
now.
lick. Give it a nice lick.
I can't. It's too far away.
What's the story with the dolphins?
I don't know. I should have sent you the link.
I
The
think
whole-
dolphins are aliens, personally.
No, the whole dolphin thing came from the Big Phone Home initially. And I had been working on this thought experiment. I published like a 4,500 word article over the debrief, making the argument that we don't know that the extraterrestrials are extraterrestrial. They're just things we see in the sky. We don't know what it is. And I came up with this thought experiment where I said, for every argument you can make that it's somebody or something from another constellation, from another star system, it could be dolphins. And I just threw that out initially kind of as a funny thing, like, because we don't know. But the more research I did into the history of dolphins, I went and wrote this really long thing, and I got quoted in the Washington Post about this at one
Oh my
point.
gosh.
That it's like for every argument you make saying it could be little grays from Zeta Reticuli, I can make an argument that's almost as strong saying it's dolphins.
It's dolphins.
Because the dolphins, if you go and look into the science, and I really should have given you the link ahead of time, I didn't know we were going to discuss it. The dolphins came out of the ocean like 50 million years ago. They walked on the land. And they were mammals. They looked up at the stars. They were
Water
walking
apes.
around. What? Well,
Aquatic
if you want to
apes.
say, maybe something like that, But even then, they had huge brain cases. Huge compared to all the other animals. They had giant brains. And humans, it was only like 5 million years ago that we started coming down out of the trees, and our skulls were a third of the size they are now. 50 million years ago, the dolphins had giant brains, and they
That's
were up
crazy.
walking around. And then they decided, fuck this land shit. We're going back into the ocean. But they had been up there. They'd seen everything. And it's like, well, if you've got that much of a head start and that much of a gigantic brain, what could you do with that, right? Maybe they could have been developing technology way down deep under the ocean where we don't see. We have better maps right now. Literally, this is not an exaggeration. We have better maps of the entire surface of the moon, the entire surface of Mars, than we have of the bottom of our oceans. We don't know what the hell's down there. We're finding new life all the time. And I started thinking, it's like, well, maybe the dolphins were just like the ones who were like, oh, this is fucked up here. But, we're going to go down there. But we saw the stars, and maybe we should go check that shit out. And maybe they've been down there building things. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying
I
the
love
argument.
it.
I
The
love the
argument
possibility.
is almost
Yeah.
as valid as saying, well, there's grays from Zeta Reticuli, and they figured out interstellar travel. The first argument you hear from anybody saying, there's no ETs, they're like, oh, the vast distance of space, that's too great. Nobody could ever cross it. No problem for the dolphins. They were already here. They just built their own ships, and they've been going out and doing stuff.
I
So
believe it.
It's all
USOs.
totally hypothetical,
I love it.
But I'm just saying, until we get better proof about aliens and whoever's doing the abductions, anybody here has been abducted. Everybody talks about screen memories. Well, maybe they made you see grays. Maybe they made you see owls. Maybe
Dolphin
it was dolphins.
is a gray color.
Exactly. And okay, dolphins. I posted videos. Dolphins in pools where we have swimmers going in, they're always trying to have sex with women, human women. Could that
They do like
be
gang rapes.
the hybrid program they're running, trying to get alien hybrids? There's so many parallels. So yeah, I'm all on board with the dolphin theory. Until
I
you
like
show
that.
me, until you show me Skinny Bob, until you show me a little gray, until you show me a reptilian, until you show me something, I'm just saying, just as good of a chance as dolphins.
I actually like that because I mean, even
do
back
I.
to like
Mhm.
the Babylonian times, a lot of the artwork they were like half man, half fish. You know, the
Sure.
body always had a fish tail and whatnot, and I mean, there's like, you know, lots of UFO lore and things that go back to like Lemuria and all of that. And people always talk about dolphins, connecting with dolphins to connect with that type of extraterrestrial lineage. And even like the Dogon tribe in Africa, the Nomo that came, they were fish beings. Who's to say that they weren't dolphins? I mean, to me, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Also, look
I'm
at the
into it.
language element. That's another big thing I pinged on. We have had people, and if God, I wish I'd sent you the link to the article.
It's all good.
We have had scientists who have been trying to communicate with dolphins for a century and a half.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We recognize they have the largest brains in proportion to body mass of any animal on the planet. They have giant brains. They make all these sounds. It's clearly a language. There's
Mhm.
never been one instance up until right today where any human being has had a conversation where a question was asked by a human
Mhm.
and answered by a dolphin that we could understand. We've never figured out their language. By contrast, the
Mm.
dolphins can read signs that we hold up. They
I was like,
learn,
yeah, and they learn how
they
to
learn
communicate with
things,
us. Yeah.
and they know what we're saying. We don't know what they're saying. Let me ask all three of you ladies,
Yeah.
who's the idiot here?
Me.
They can figure out what we're talking about. We've
We can't
never
figure
had
it
an
out them.
exchange with
Mhm.
them. Who's
Mhm.
stupid? Maybe
Mhm.
they're a lot smarter than we are.
We think are. Mhm.
For
Yeah, they say that
sure.
the same thing about like apes too. Like apes can learn sign language. Like you know how difficult it is to teach some humans how to use sign language, but apes can pick it up like that.
Yeah, I think the apes have more of a limiting factor because they're on our side of the tree. But yeah, we have plenty of apes that have learned how to do sign language, who have learned to do computer language,
Computer language.
things
Yep.
like that.
Mhm.
But the dolphins seem to have a much richer, more complex language than we do.
Mhm.
And
Man.
they can hear us. They understand us. We don't have a friggin' clue
Freaking idea.
what they're
Yep.
saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I
Who's the
had the
dummies?
option to go back in the water, I would. So I believe that. If I,
I'd
you
go to
know,
the
like I'm
ocean,
walking
yeah.
on land now, but if someone was like, "Are you sick of this? Do you want to just hang out in the deep sea?" I'd say, "Hell yes."
Hell yes. Mhm.
Right.
We diving down. I'll never see you again.
I found a video.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you mentioned that, so let's watch it. Spooky.
Let's see spook.
Now I need to make dolphin merch for Jazz.
I know.
Oh,
I have my yeah here. Here.
here.
Those are houses.
Like, I'm not the only
That's
one
certainly
here.
interesting.
There are other people here watching this shit. They're recording it. They're just random like disappearing.
Oh, and they just faded out. Oh, came back.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this shit, dude. There's some look at this. Dude, this is some UFO type shit right now, man. And talking about look at this shit right now. Oh my god, look at this. These three lights, they keep coming together and then they fucking go apart. Watch this. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Dude, what the hell?
I love the intensity of the conversation from the people that are
Yeah.
filming.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There goes one. Now they're back to two lights.
That's the kind
Can
of
we go
sighting I
back?
really like. Yes.
I
Yeah.
like that one. I like that.
So there's dimensionality to it. There's pulsing. Pops.
Do I have to go
out.
first again?
Yes, of course. You are the
Yeah,
king of
can
the
you play it
show.
again, Spooky? Maybe we could just
Okay.
watch it again
I'll,
without the
Yeah,
the
I
audio
agree.
and hear what
Let's-
Joss has to say.
I'll play it at half
Look at
speed so we
that.
get a good 2 minutes, and I'll up the. Oh, I didn't even have it on max resolution.
Beautiful.
Ooh.
Turn the
Here we
sound
go, half
off.
speed. Yeah, sound off, half speed.
There you go.
All right, I'll be right back.
And go.
Okay, they're definitely moving in relation to each other, so that it's not camera motion.
Mm-mm.
That's not just 3 stars and the camera shifting. They're moving in relation to each other. Yeah. And they, yeah,
There's no
I
frame
guess cameras can distort points and make them look longer. My glasses do that, but I don't know. That looks pretty good.
They're trailing accurately, and it doesn't look like it's keyframed at all. It would be too smooth or too jittery, but this looks natural.
Well,
very
if you're
natural.
Hollywood level, you could definitely reproduce
Oh,
that.
definitely.
But boy, that would be a lot of work. I'm not saying it's impossible, but
It just blinks out there completely.
and that, yeah, I'm more impressed with the way it goes and it comes back, and it's not even in the same spot where it came back exactly.
Yep.
Like there was a shift, and
And
now
the
the shape's
manner
different.
and the manner at which they turn on is so strange, almost like they're like having to like kick start it up almost. Like it doesn't just naturally kind of glow on if you notice. It's like a little bit of a flicker.
It does the widening thing, and I've heard many stories about a V that does it. It's like a fixed thing
Spooky's
that
right.
can do that.
Yes.
Mm.
But I don't
That
think
looks
there's
like a
enough
classic
data to
T3RV to
say
me.
that you can't see. It's so dark. Is it one structure with points of light that's shifting and you can't see behind it? Or is
Or are
it
they moving?
3 points that are moving in relation to each other? But I don't think that matters. If it was lighter, you could see, like, did it block out the clouds between the 3 as they came in and out? We don't know that part. But no, I really like that one. I'm going to
really
go
like
out on a
that.
limb. I'm sorry. I'm probably going to get excoriated, but I'm going yes.
Yeah, UFS.
Yeah,
UFS.
I'm going.
I think I
UFS
have to
as well.
agree. Yeah, I agree.
like
I
that
think
one.
we're
That's
all.
actually one of
I
the better
agree
ones I've
too.
seen in recent times.
Yeah, I like that one.
I
That
agree
one's a
too.
silver
I
UFS.
like it.
Yep. I don't think everything's
good
a
one.
UFO, but that's a pretty damn
That
good
was a pretty
video.
good one. I agree.
Yeah.
It's a
It matches
pretty
a lot
darn good
of
one.
what I've heard over a long time. Now, obviously, you can fake them once you've read reports, but like that was very, very natural, and I've seen a lot of fakes, so it's easy to spot. And
All right,
I
I
like
have-
it.
I have another video for us. Let me find it.
Uh-oh.
Hit us. Do it.
This one's a little bit different. It's not alien, but
Is
yeah.
it another
Well,
ghost?
I want you to know I've already gotten notification that everybody at UCR is jealous because I have never done this long of an appearance for
Really?
UCR
Really?
or any other. This is the longest appearance I've ever done.
Oh
So-
my god.
You love us.
You love us. You love us. Okay,
No,
so
I'm having a lot of fun. You guys are fun, and I think you're
thank you,
interesting.
Jazz.
and
You're fun too.
You share some of the same experiences I've had, and my wife
I
has
think so
had.
too. I
You
love
know,
that. We'll have to get
it's-
your wife to come on
fun.
soon. Does your
She'll
wife like to
never
talk
do it.
about it? Never?
Never,
No.
never,
Oh, you never
ever.
know.
You never know.
No, she said it. She's not doing it.
All right, all right.
She works for the government. She's
Oh,
not. She's not.
Respect.
I gotcha. I
respect.
gotcha. I gotcha.
I'm
right, so-
close to retirement. She's 10 years younger than me. Yes, I'm a cradle robber.
Ooh,
Ooh,
get it though,
love
Jazz.
that.
Get it. Love it. I love that
Dang.
vibe. Yeah.
But yeah,
congrats.
she's not going to have any videos going around that endangers her retirement. So
All right, all right, all right. We'll wait till she retires then. We'll wait till she retires. All right. So we have here security camera footage in 2019 in Latin America. And it says that they captured a real dinosaur.
wait, in Latin America, if you
Yeah.
can pause that,
Yeah.
that's sort of a general broad
I
category.
know. It's like a yeah.
Where in Latin America is
it's like
this?
saying
Just
it's like saying in
America.
America. It's just like America somewhere or
Oh,
Russia
it's on
somewhere.
Earth. Okay,
It's
let's
Earth,
go.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, Rock. Let's roll it.
So they said that this is a dinosaur that they captured.
Oh my gosh.
Huh.
It's security camera for. Wait. Okay. So that was that
It bugged the
rewound.
fuck out. It's like, nope.
They rewound it, I think. Yeah, they were.
Oh my.
No, no,
Lord.
no, no. It's
Oh, look at it. Oh shoot.
I'm playing
Oh,
again.
No.
Okay.
It's only
All
a matter
right.
of time. Can I just throw it out there before everyone says yes or no that it really is only a matter of time before scientists figure it out
How to make
how
big
to
dinosaurs, yeah.
make a dinosaur. I really think it's possible.
We get hate crimes for that. I was just saying, we get copyrighted.
Who is singing Jurassic Park?
Me and Kari.
All
All right, Jazz, what do you think? What is it? What do you think this is a fucking dinosaur?
Who knows? Maybe someday I'll be proven wrong because,
convincing.
it's like when you're talking about things from other dimensions or, other star systems coming and visiting us. There's so many unknowns. This is an area of science where we actually have the chance to go and collect a lot of data, a lot of physical data. Are there still dinosaurs around? Well, the birds are dinosaurs. The pigeons are dinosaurs. They're descendants of the dinosaurs.
Water bears are
That
dinosaurs.
looks like a velociraptor.
It does.
Okay. And there can't just be one velociraptor.
Unless it escaped from a lab.
It's not like, oh, well, maybe the UFO came down 3 years ago and we saw Skinny Bob, and then his friend Phil showed up last year, and then they all left. No, these guys all have to live here. There needs to be a breeding population. That's I'm sorry. Absolutely.
No, you're knowing it.
Yes, but what if this is their holding place and we're just looking at one, and like wherever the security camera is a giant holding place for a bunch of them?
But Jamie, it had to come from somewhere. If it's a biological being, there must be 2 parents somewhere and 4 grandparents somewhere to produce this thing. This is the first one we've seen.
It's in a petri dish somewhere.
And in 2019, we haven't seen more.
I don't know. I don't think.
I want to believe
if there was
this so
velociraptors
bad.
running around, I think we'd have seen more than one.
Here's the thing. I want to believe it so bad because I really do enjoy this video greatly, but I don't think it's real. But it's so good.
They did a
the way
great
it
job.
moves. Yeah, the way
The
they
shadowing
recreate it.
is realistic.
The only thing that gets me is that weird like glitch where like are they rewinding it? Like
right.
what is that?
No, go back to that one where you froze it.
Come on.
That's where the video makes me a couple frames back. Right before it disappears, instead of being wide and solid, it suddenly turns into like a straight line. That looks to me like a video editing fail. Because it just ran out of pixels. I'm sorry, I'm calling bullshit.
That whole weird jump back makes me like, what is happening? But then this side, I'm like, look at it move. I know it's fake, but I do want to believe.
I think that it's like a donkey, and then they like stitched in a dinosaur tail
onto it.
You will laugh now.
But
later. I was asked to come and give my opinions, as crappy as they may be.
No, that's the whole point. Your opinions are king of the show.
Whole point.
Absolutely. Brie, your turn.
Okay, I do have I have lots of them, but for some reason, I feel like because you're on the dinosaur thing, I kind of want to stick with this same weirdness.
Do you have one? Okay,
We got here.
dinosaur.
Somebody sent me in this picture of this huge ass bird. I mean, imagine looking out your window and you seeing this. Just look at the wingspan. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm not going outside for a year.
Damn. Okay, so
Yeah,
I understand.
I don't care what he's saying.
So what this is a forced perspective of the house, so it's making it look like a lot bigger than it is. But eagles also do have a wingspan of like 10 feet or something like that.
Do we know where that was videoed?
No.
I would guess in the Pacific Northwest is what it looks like.
It looks like the PNW.
Yeah.
Are the eagles really that big?
Yeah, they have like a wingspan of like 10 feet, 100%.
I've seen an
That's
eagle
more than 10 feet.
flip itself off the top of a tree to gain altitude to go up.
Like sling
up
itself,
to it.
yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's a thunderbird.
They're big as shit. Especially the males. Maybe only see the females, Brie, but the males are big.
Being white is the one thing that sets me back because
its head is down. That's
my first thought was like California condor.
It's like
I
bald
looked out
eagle.
there. I've seen
guys think this is
California
real?
condors. No, I'm just saying California condors. Have you ever seen the biggest ones of them? I mean,
They're
they're
huge.
gigantic,
They're
but they
huge.
don't have white heads.
Yeah, no. This is bald eagle, I believe, is what this is.
Bald
Everyone
eagle.
in the chat. I'm pretty sure this is a bald
Man.
eagle.
I
And they're
think
huge
it's
as
falcon.
shit.
Big.
I think it's some kind of falcon, but
At one time in band camp, exactly.
Right.
This is real breed. I say birds are not real, but this is indeed a real bird.
Well,
This is
birds
a
are
real
not real.
bird.
Birds are
Jamie's
not real.
crazy.
There's no real birds.
Okay.
They're all drones. But
Oh my god, wait,
okay,
Jack,
that was a
wait,
joke.
No,
That
Jack,
was a
fucking with
joke.
Birds aren't
you.
real.
Oh, I was like,
Fucking with
because
you.
I think that birds aren't real. So if you're in the birds aren't
No,
real
I
camp,
love
we
the
could
birds
be.
aren't. I love the birds aren't real meme.
Me too, so
but I also
much.
you're getting into my wheelhouse because I'm a
Ooh.
huge bird guy. I love
Oh.
birds. I feed birds. I have been doing it for
Oh.
decades. I'm big on pigeons. But we feed
Oh.
hawks. Around
Oh.
our house, and we feed songbirds and things like that. I'm
Bree's
always
husband had
fascinated.
birds.
Always fascinated by
Pigeons.
ornithology.
Pigeons. Mhm.
The bird we're looking at here is not a condor.
Mm-mm.
Condors don't have white heads. That's
I can't
not
believe you
real.
guys think this is real. I didn't think this would be a real thing.
I don't think it is
I'm
either,
shocked.
but it
it
could
looks
be.
similar to the bird I've seen.
I think Spooky
Space
might
quail.
be right that we're looking at something where the perspective of the camera makes it look a lot bigger than it is
Okay.
at a distance. If that was a bald eagle,
So the patch of land that bird is on is actually I'd say about 6 feet above the road. You can tell because the wheel goes down
Dunno.
below it.
Still, even the perspective.
Like watch the car.
right
It's
there.
that-
I like that. No, the other freeze where it's closed in. Can you back up? That looks like
I think
a bald
this is.
eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
say,
when it's like
look.
that.
Bam, bald eagle.
Hi, babe.
Yeah.
Can you shut the door?
Look at that wingspan.
Love you.
Yep.
Look how big it is in comparison to this person. Like, look at that.
You
No, that's not
cannot-
as big as the picture.
You cannot find a California condor that has a white head. And that's the only bird that would be as big as the original image kind of portrays it to be. Because California condors can have up to correct me, Spooky, like 16, 17 foot wingspan.
Yeah.
Bald eagles, we have them over where we are. We have a camp up in the Adirondacks, and there's some big ass bald eagles. They're not that big.
Yeah, that wings on that one are massive.
If
But
you
yeah,
notice in the background on the fence, there is another bird for scale.
who is
Oh
there?
shoot!
Where-
Then this makes
on
this
the
thing
on the
look
right-hand side, on the white
ginormous.
background.
I'm looking.
Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, on the fence behind the bird.
I can see it. Yeah, small one.
Well, yeah, but that could be like a crow or something,
Right.
right?
Yeah, something way smaller. Yeah, and again, it's
And
farther
if you
away. and
notice
it looks
on,
like
on
it's
the right-hand side
downhill.
of that patch of land, that you can actually see where it dips down, and then there's a lower bit of land behind it.
Yeah, so I'm
this is
saying, like,
this is forced perspective.
Forced
completely.
perspective
so, like,
for sure.
Oh my god!
This bird is nowhere near as like.
I
Large.
think Kari's right.
Yeah,
I
it's,
think
it's
Kari
just
is right. Yeah.
raised up.
Kari's
I'm
always
sorry, I gotta
right.
say no.
Yeah,
Oh,
Hey,
Lord, have
I still have that
mercy.
article to share.
let's do it. Show it.
Oh yeah, hit us with the
So-
article.
This is a cool article I found earlier today.
Get it, please.
So, people that monitor satellites in orbit observed a Chinese satellite changing its trajectory and linking up with a dead satellite that failed shortly after launch. And after a few days, it kind of locked in with it and then altered its orbit out to like this graveyard orbit, where it's less chance of things hitting spacecraft.
Okay.
And it's interesting. Like we have
Changed
that
its
technology
orbit.
now. Yeah.
So that sucks. So then now when we look at supposed possible UFO sightings, we can't say, oh, it changed trajectory, so it's obviously not a
Oh, no,
satellite.
this
So
was
then
like
now there
over-
are satellites that do that?
Well, yes, but it takes time, so it's not doing it super quick.
Oh, God.
But it's,
Hi, John. Nice to see you.
it's just a little, I haven't
Hey,
seen anybody
good to
talking
see you
about
guys
it,
too.
and it's interesting that
Oh, my
it's-
gosh.
without the Chinese space agency saying, "Hey, we can do this," they're doing this,
Someone caught him doing
and
it.
it does lead to thoughts about like, okay, if they can do that, what's to
China.
say they couldn't
What
do it
else
to like
can
one
they
of our
do?
satellites out there and break it in
Like
space, right?
satellite snatch
Yeah.
and change its. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
So little food
I
for thought.
just
everybody.
published an article about this about 2 hours ago.
Ooh,
But
Did you
tell us,
really?
please.
yeah, but it had nothing to do with UFOs or anything. It's just like
Ah.
cleaning up the junk in our orbit.
Yeah,
You know?
it was like a little bit not UFO, but I thought it was interesting nonetheless to show.
No, it's very interesting, but no, there's a ton of shit up there that we got to clean
Yeah.
up.
Okay, Jazz, I have a question for you. Maybe you'll have the answer for me. Why don't we have more pictures of space junk?
We have plenty of pictures of space junk. If you go to NASA, they have a continual feed. The sad part
Is it a feed? I was like, I've seen like the diagrams and like the videos of where like they're showing us, but I've never seen like actual videos of space junk.
Oh wow, there's a whole website.
It's usually not videos, but if you go to the NASA video feed, which goes to the still feed,
Yeah.
there you can get a bazillion pictures that people go and they look at, and they look for things like evidence of aliens and things like that. Those are interesting, but there are a lot of people who realize the more interesting ones are. It's like, wow, there's a whole bunch of crap floating around out here. And I've published several articles just in the last 6 months. People in the space station had to go to emergency stations, and go to their evacuation stations because there was crap flying towards them because people are blowing up old dead satellites and things like that.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, I remember the Russian thing. Yeah.
The Chinese did it too. We've done it too. When I say we, I mean the Americans. We've done all this. It's really crowded up there. It's a junkyard up there. Does that mean that it's aliens? No, we've been throwing tons of junk into low orbit.
Tons of junk.
And everybody's dodging it right now. And like I said, I have an article over at Salem Today. The Biden administration has gone ahead and put money in saying we need to go up and clean this up.
That's not a bad idea.
Getting some of that junk out of the orbital thing, because we have had astronauts going, oh, we got to go to emergency stations. We might get blown up.
And what if the whole thing goes to pieces all because we didn't clean it up? That would be insane. Could you imagine if we didn't have the ISS? Like, how long would it take for them to rebuild that?
Well, the rebuilding isn't the question. The fact is that the Space Force is currently tracing more than 40,000 objects that are large enough to be of serious concern, that are just junk flying around. But
during your investigation, did you find that anyone has like how would they go out and deal with space junk? Like, how do you go to space and like pick up all the junk without, like if you're in a spacecraft, you can't just like put your arm out and reach out and grab stuff. Like, what is this idea to like to get rid of the space junk? Did you find any of that?
The Biden administration has one plan for that. Elon Musk has another plan for that. But the fact is, the numbers are so large, and it costs so much to do anything in space.
It does, yeah.
Because you have to get up there initially, and then do the thing, and then do something with the thing, right? It's incredibly expensive. But we have a floating junkyard in space above us.
It's sad.
It's the 40,000 is only the things big enough that you can really easily track them. It's more than 100 million things that are like nuts and bolts. Got dropped out, and they're still circling. And if you're in the International Space Station, and a bolt comes and hits your window at 17,000 miles an hour, that's a problem.
Yes.
So yeah, we need a
huge
cleanup operation, and I think the entire planet has to go through and put money into it and say, okay, we got to start cleaning this up.
I hope that it passes. Do you think that it's going to?
No, not a chance. It's not profitable. Nobody
not
makes,
How you doing,
about
John?
life. It's not about
nobody
that.
makes money off
Good.
that.
How are you?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Here, I tickle your head.
Hi, John. Welcome. All right, Bree.
Hi,
do you
John.
have
Hey guys.
I don't know what
Hey,
you're doing
Seth.
with the tickle thing, but you know.
I was tickling his head.
It's like
Wait.
a crazy version of Brady Bunch up in here.
I always
It's
that's
always-
the best about it.
Yeah. Hey, Jazz. I was gonna bring that up. You brought up cleaning up the space debris. There was a thing on Twitter talking about this new material that's been developed, a brand new type of material developed from plastic that's much harder than stainless steel, but also much lighter.
Yeah.
And supposedly it's a lot more bulletproof, but it can be produced in very large quantities. You think they could create some kind of net to travel around, and since it's so hard, they could catch a lot of those debris with that new material they're developing in the lab.
Wow, your idea is way out in advance of what anybody's doing. Over at the debrief,
Thank you.
where I write, Chris Plain just wrote an article about that, and yeah,
Right.
there are big material advances happening.
There are,
Absolutely.
yep.
And
There are, and I'm
but
wondering if
boy,
some of this new
somebody
material,
has to spend the
yeah,
money, right?
right,
Because you have to get that technology off the earth. You have to launch it. That costs a lot of money. Once you get it up there, it has to be able to navigate. You have to have fuel energy for it to keep navigating and doing things like that before we can start doing a cleanup operation. I think you're absolutely on point. That's a great idea. But right now, it's really expensive to do that. And what do we know about how governments approach these programs? How much money are you willing to spend, and what are you going to get back?
Mm-hmm.
What you get back from cleaning up space junk is nothing.
right.
Nothing. And the contractors who work with the governments, they're like, yeah, it'd be great if we clean that up, but we're not going to make any money off that, So
Right.
I don't want to sound like a pessimist, but I don't think they're highly motivated to do anything helpful like that because there's no profit in that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I appreciate you being a realist, I just thought it was interesting that lately I'm seeing more and more scientific articles because I try to keep up with the latest technology. And there's a lot of more people are using the word metamaterials a lot more now, and I like that because it reminds me of what has been said over the past few decades that little by little and baby steps and little drops, they're dropping little pieces of possibly reverse engineered non-human in origin materials into the technology industry so it can very slowly be integrated into our human society without crashing the market, without causing too much suspicion. I was wondering what you and the other panelists here thought about that. I just find it fascinating.
I'll toss that
point,
over to
John.
Spooky or somebody else.
Spooky, take it.
What was the question?
I like it. I'll let you, John.
Take it.
I do
No,
like
I
it.
think
I
it's an interesting thought. I mean,
God, I love this show.
I was like, yeah.
I agree. I agree with John.
Yeah,
I think that I've always said that they slow drip everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
do think that that's a way to get that in there. We get used to the name meta material, and then who knows what's going to happen in the future. It's not going to be as much of a shock. I think that everyone can agree that we've definitely been tiptoeing our way into disclosure. And so much to the fact that when, the New York Times article hit and all of the UAP videos were confirmed, there really wasn't too much shock in the general public. And I think that is by design. So I
Right.
think you're onto something for sure.
Right. When Mellon the other day, when he just very matter of factly said, well, the most logical explanation is non-human, it's alien, and nobody seemed to bat an eye, nobody seemed to even care. That was pretty cool to see. I just hope he pushes it further with the crash materials and debris and craft and keeps pushing it farther and farther. I hope they don't stop.
I think that we live in a time right now that where there's not limits to people pushing the boundaries and going to get information. So I think it's the perfect time to be looking into it and doing what he's doing, because you could have done this 5 years ago, and who says that you're going to be able to do this 5 years from now?
Right. If they wanted to shut down the entire disclosure movement, they could at any point. There's nothing we could do about it.
I disagree with that, but I do agree.
Well, I
that
hope you're
there's-
right. I hope you're right, Jazz.
Me too. And I'm not saying I know, but what Chris Mellon said, I absolutely agree that we've gone through generations and generations of time where the government says one thing and you have to evaluate it. Sometimes turns out to be true. Sometimes it turns out to be complete bullshit. You know, we don't know, and anybody that says, oh, we're on the verge, the government's going to finally come and say, well, you were all right, and we've all had,
Never.
These things. No, that's not happening. But I also don't think we're still at the point where if anyone knows everything that's been going on, they're still entirely at the wall saying, we can never say, we're going to fight it tooth and claw.
Right.
I have a sense, for what it's worth, that there's a window opening where people in the government, not all of them obviously, could come out and say, you know what, we knew more than we told you about. We may not know everything, but maybe we can come out and say, yeah, we had some other information we thought was sensitive. Maybe we should talk about it now.
Don't you think that window's closing?
That's kind of where I land right now.
Yeah, you're right, Jat and Bree. You make an also good point. The window might be closing because we don't know when the Air Force is going to do that infamous shutdown that Ross Goldhart keeps talking about. They have much better sensors and equipment than the Navy, as we've heard. They have much better equipment. They can apparently, Jazz, did you hear that? Maybe I didn't hear them correctly. Apparently, they can track something the size of a marble.
Yes.
So that's pretty amazing.
Now, that's part of an investigation I've been dealing with for the last 3 weeks that goes back actually to 1964.
Oh yeah, you were telling us about that at the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah, but we'll wait and find out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I can't give it all up yet, but we're
Right.
closing in on something at the debrief that will go back a long ways. And
Right.
if I get it, and I'm not saying we have it. It's not confirmed. All right.
Of course.
But we're looking into some stuff. But I don't think there's. I'm not sure how to say this correctly.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear that the government has lied about things in the past. Sometimes because they were protecting national security.
Definitely.
Sometimes because they didn't want to tell you things. There's gray lines in all of that. And I think a lot more of that is coming out. There's information coming. But it doesn't mean, I'm sorry, I'm still not an acolyte that's willing to say, oh, we're going to find out everything was true and Roswell and the president had a meeting with aliens. And on the other end, it's like, nothing ever happened. It was all misinterpretations. We're not anywhere near that, in my opinion.
Well, do you think it's going to take some big leaks from the Air Force, from somebody leaking stuff out, because they don't want to give it up? They have the best sensors and radar. And do you think it's going to take some big time leaks for this to be pushed forward by a big step?
Maybe. I think a lot of the stuff Lou Elizondo has talked about, a lot of the stuff Chris Mellon has talked about, that there are clearly a bunch of pockets of information that have been hidden, whether you agree with the justification for hiding them, that's up to you, that could be brought forward. Maybe it will. But that doesn't automatically translate to, oh, well, they knew everything. We've already had aliens sitting with Bill Clinton in the White House and making deals about how many people they can abduct. I'm sorry, I've never seen anything that convinces me.
Yeah, and I don't think they're ever. Yeah, I don't think they're ever going to
It's
admit.
somewhere between those.
Mhm.
Is that okay to say?
Yeah.
It's like it's somewhere between
Of
those
course
things.
it is.
I don't think they're ever going to admit to abductions and all the mysteriously missing people, Jazz. I don't know about you, but that if they admit that, that could cause mass panic on a global scale, unless people really truly just don't give a fuck anymore.
Do you think they'll admit to Roswell?
I couldn't hear you. What?
Do you think they'll admit to Roswell?
Yeah, but what do we know about Roswell?
I think they could.
No.
They could admit some stuff about that. They might do that. But admitting to the very disturbing side of this, I mean, I don't know. Blanket immunity has been talked about a lot, but I was
I'm in
wondering.
favor of blanket immunity.
Yeah, I was wondering if instead of blanket immunity, if they're not able to legally get blanket immunity to get everybody come out and admit more stuff, what if they just chalk it up to an act of God because we were scared this was non-human, so we overreacted and did things that were legally in the gray area or possibly completely illegal against our own citizens. We ruined people's lives, maybe even got rid of people because we thought the end of the world was coming, and we apologize, but the people that made those orders are long since passed, so you can't sue us anymore. We didn't give the direct orders. And we thought this would cause global panic or the end of the world. So, please don't sue us. Do you think they could chalk it up to an act of God, or will they need blanket immunity, legally speaking?
100%.
I think that. Oh, I'm a lawyer, so I don't know about all this
Oh,
stuff.
okay. I didn't know that.
And I don't know about like limitation periods on everything or all of that. But I do think like Lou Elizondo has brought up like, oh, this aerospace corporation didn't get the advantage of the technology. This one did. That could be a legal issue. And I can kind of see that, I guess. Like if it was not run through a proper process, because they probably have like tender processes. I don't know. There definitely are potential legal issues that are blocking the advancement of disclosure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I was just wondering if
take me backstage for a minute, please.
Okay. I was just wondering if they chalk it up because you said you're an attorney. Do you know? Can they claim, like somehow people do? I heard if they claim it an act of God, that means it was completely out of anybody's control, nobody's fault. That something completely out of nowhere and unexpected happened. Could that protect them legally against some of the very bad things that have been done to ruin people's lives? What do you think?
Well, I'm in Canada, and so like the law is different. But I mean, I know of act of God as an insurance concept. Which act of God would be like something completely out of your control, which some of this stuff seems like what they did after it is not the act of God. Like it's how they responded to the act of God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So in other words, they're going to need blanket immunity, or a lot of people could still possibly be in big trouble.
Yeah, or else there's people that just are no longer.
Do I hear a puppy dog? Is that a puppy?
Baby.
Aw.
I know.
So cute.
I should probably take her.
He wants to join the UFO movement. He's upset. He wants to join.
It's a she. Don't misgender the dog.
Oh, hello, her, my beautiful baby. Aw, so sweet. I love that. What an angel. What's her name?
Remy.
Oh, I love that.
That's a cute name. Hi, Remy.
I have a video I've been wanting to share if you guys are still.
Okay. Yes, of course.
Although, where did Jazz go?
He had to step away, but if he comes back, I'll pop him back in. Yeah, I'll pop him back in if I see him come back.
Okay. So, I thank God I wrote this down. Spooky. In the description, it says that it is stars under the firmament.
So you're going to show me a flat Earth video, is what you're saying, without saying.
No.
Dreams ain't just for dreamers.
So I thought that this was like a UFO, but in the description, they're saying that this is just stars under the why can't I ever say that word? Firmament?
Yes.
Firmament? firmament.
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 Like firmament.
And it's like
Double M.
firmament. Firmament.
Meme. Meme.
Firmament.
Meme.
So it's like, to me, maybe they're talking about the sun.
Oh, that's the moon.
I don't want to punch you anymore. Whatever, Mr. Crowley. Whatever. But he's like, Brie, I'm going to punch you in the face. And he's like, Brie, I hate you.
Now he doesn't want to punch you anymore. Yeah.
But he still hates me. That's totally fine. I just felt like it's moving around, and it was under UAP, but then the description is like, oh, just stars under the firmament.
Lizzie, I got your video, but it's on my phone. I can't put it on my computer right now when I'm streaming. I'm only logged into our Instagram on like our page one, not my personal one.
See how it's kind of moving? Look at it.
Yeah, so there was one time in my life where I was staying at Danny's house and she lived out in the country, and I saw a star that fucking looked like that, and I was convinced it was a UFO, and I sat in my bed for like probably an hour staring at it, and then after an hour I was like, this is a fucking star.
But isn't it weird
But
that
it
like,
literally did that? No, it changed and shifted, and it looked like it was pulsating and changing colors, and it ended up being a star. But I only knew it because it just sat in the same spot for an hour, and if I wouldn't have sat there for an hour and stared at it, I would have thought it was a UFO.
Look at this motherfucker. No, but I've been there too, where you're staring at something for so long and you think that it's a UFO, and then you realize it's not moving, it's just your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I don't know. I'm moving it along for you guys, by the way, because I just want to see it like frame by frame.
Mm.
There's some nice green in there.
Huh?
It's got good colors, like
Some
nice green.
in there, yeah.
So you guys just believe that it's under a star under the firmament?
Did I say that?
None of us said that. You did.
I'm asking.
Oh, got you. I don't know. I mean, I like I said, I've seen something that looks like that I stared at for a long time. Like I said, an hour, and it ended up being a star. So I could see how somebody could think that. But yeah, I don't know. I need more info.
Yeah.
More info.
Right.
I'm gonna say that's Venus, I think. What you
Venus
saw
is
was
penis.
the planet Venus.
This all
Venus.
reminds me of what Jacques Vallée said, what he thinks all these are.
What?
He thinks all of it, apparently, unless I misunderstood him, that all the craft and the beings and the cryptids, everything, are all psychotronic warfare against humans to change our brain, change our consciousness. Because after a human actually witnesses in person anything non-human in origin, you're changed after that. You can see all kinds of paranormal stuff after that. Something happens to your brain. I don't know if it's something triggers or activates in your brain, or something actually changes so your brain is turbocharged and you're able to see it. But after that, you're never the same again, how you think and what you're able to actually see and hear. So that's a way to indirectly, apparently he's saying, change humanity without our permission. And they can change form. They can look like you said, a giant wolf, an owl, a giant werewolf, a craft,
A giant mummy.
a being, a gray, a Nordic being. I don't know. Do you guys think there's
That
any?
makes sense. I mean, Jazz
Kind of,
was
yeah.
just telling us that he didn't see UFOs till about 14 months ago, and then now
Mhm.
Yeah.
there's
all
a
the time.
ghost cat, in the
Yeah,
same house
Oh,
out
you're
of
muted,
nowhere.
Jess.
Yeah, I didn't start seeing weird stuff either till after the 2017 New York Times article, when I started watching Richard Dolan videos and thinking about it even more. Then I started noticing more weird stuff happening around town and around here. I don't know if that's just pure coincidence, bad luck, or is it all part of the plan? It's just interesting to think about. I mean,
It
And
is
we're
100%.
But you know how Gary Nolan says like there's changes in the brain of people with UFO experiences? Like I wish that there was like more studies on that from people before, like even
I
you.
think there have been, Megan.
But like
Is
if
that-
you
is that
had
your
an
name, Megan?
MRI
I don't know.
before you read the 2017 article and then an MRI after, like would it be different? Like that, I wish there was more of that, or just like before you saw your UFO and then after, like now that you've you saw one, and now you've seen multiple and had these
Right.
shadow cat experiences. I mean, I wish that there was like before and afters more of that.
Haven't they figured out? Hasn't there been some research done recently that actually figured out what
Jazz, you're
exactly inside your
muted.
brain or what part is changed
Sorry.
or upgraded
Oh, there you go.
after a non-human experience? Haven't they figured that out yet?
How do you develop data on that? That's my question.
Somebody's been studying that. I don't know if it was Gary Nolan, but somebody has been researching that. What actually happens to your brain after witnessing anything that's completely non-human?
Do we trust Gary Nolan?
Could be.
Do we trust anybody?
I hate to do this.
No, we actually have to end. We're at our 2-hour point.
have to
Yeah,
go.
we just hit 2 hours right now.
I really have to go.
Jazz, we love you. Thank you so
So-
much. Thank you
Yeah,
so much
thank-
for
thank
being
you for
here.
coming.
We appreciate you. Thank you, Jazz, so much for
We
coming.
love everybody
to
for
meet you.
coming.
Yeah, we love
you
everybody.
guys
are
have
all
been
great.
so amazing. And
Oh, thank you,
Thank you,
Jazz.
Jazz.
You
You
too.
thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I was really worried this was gonna turn into something really fucked up and weird. Well, and okay, it was. It was
did.
something really fucked up.
I was like, that's what it is. But that's the fun of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know
But,
what? You can come
you
back
know-
anytime. We love you so much, and thank you for coming. We appreciate
Thank
you
you
deeply.
so much for coming,
Thanks for
Jazz.
having
We
me because
appreciate you.
I love the conversation you guys are having.
Thank
And
you.
Thank you.
I think you're reaching out to people that at a really critical moment in history have to ask really hard questions. And you guys are asking those questions. And I've been asking them. I'm no genius, you know, but we're dealing with really complex things. And
For sure.
keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you,
Keep
Jazz.
asking people, you know, it's like, what is this? What did I experience? What did you experience? What's our communal experience? Keep doing what you're doing. I totally salute what you're doing.
Thank you,
Thank
Jazz.
you, Jazz. That means the
We
world
love
to us.
you. We love
It
you.
really does.
It does. All right, you guys. I'm gonna play you guys out with our newest video.
Like and subscribe.
Like and
Do it,
subscribe,
or
and we'll see you
I'll
guys
hunt
next
you
time.
down.
And we'll put Jazz's stuff in the description of the video so you guys can
Yes.
go and see his. So we love you guys. Good night and goodbye.
Good night. Bye.